Before we begin, there's been a request from Cecilia, one of the students here. Chipin, her little bunny was killed this morning, and his name was Bun Bun. And so could everyone please pray for her? She's heartbroken. So we'll continue. Welcome back. The Troma Nagmo concise sadhana is where we're going next. And this compilation was compiled by Trinley Norba Rinpoche. Prior to that, it wasn't put together in this kind of format. And one could ponder that the reason may be because everyone was just too busy doing the intermediate sadhana, which is the main practice for Troma that's done on a regular basis. And I do remember even trying to do the concise version a time or two with Nakpa Yeshe Dorje Rinpoche when he was here. And it was just so complicated because it didn't come in the Tibetan Pecha liturgy. It didn't come in an order, you see. Everything is there in the Terma, but it was all over the place. And so it was very complicated to figure out how to actually put it together because it's so concise. And so that's why Rinpoche finally, some years later, put this together.
我们很幸会的，就是说我修的只是短轨、金刚、心髓，通常春毛都是修中轨，可是短轨也在伏藏里面的，也在伏藏里面有，只是它伏藏里面那个短轨的念诵文都跳来跳去，非常的难找。那哪怕也写多些遭遇者的瑜伽者，他以前试的想把它排版起来，可是没有成功。是后来是等到春雷诺布法子敦珠第二世法王的儿子排版出来短轨，就是我们今天要修的。
And please take a moment to rejuvenate the bodhicitta aspiration. That we're here to listen to the teachings and practice on this Guru Rinpoche Day, to be of some benefit to all the living beings in the world and to the security of Buddha's doctrine in the world until all beings are liberated. We dedicate ourselves to be servants of the lineage, the teachings, and servants to parent sentient beings.
趁这个机会，莲师日再来发心，广大菩提心，普度众生，然后消除世界所有的障碍、灾难等等。
Now, when you're practicing Troma Chut, you have to have a strong view and you need to have a fearless mind. The kind of mind that thinks you can overcome anything. And so there's a sense of confidence. And actually, that confidence comes by knowing the view. So that's why these two go hand in hand. So as we go into the sadhana, we'll talk more about that. But I just bring it up now because the sadhana starts with the Dakini's laughter, which is otherwise known as Troma's laughter that suppresses through splendor. And this is perhaps the most important little practice or section of the entire revelation because it comes first, it comes always, it's done every day and like that. So we'll take a little bit of time to just go through it.
断法里面最基本的很需要就是很强的见地和这种无惧的信心，无惧的心思，这样子才能真的去进行这个断法。所以就是说信心跟见地 是两个是一起都要有的。那这个法开始的第一个就是镜像中，杜母对不起，黑木母的笑声，他们是御驾射威。
And then you think to yourself, before you begin this suppression through splendor, that all appearances are emptiness endowed with wisdom presence. So you take that moment. And when we say this, endowed with wisdom presence, in Tibetan that's Nam Kun Chok, Nam Kun Chokden Gitompani, emptiness that is endowed with this wisdom presence. So it's not just a voidness or shunyata, as it may be understood in lower systems. It means the empty nature of all that appears, but yet it appears as its own luminosity, and, or we could say clarity, and that is like the splendor of the nature of all that appears, yet while simultaneously it doesn't really exist, yet it appears.
在这个空行母怀笑的这个里面，第一步就是观想入空，万物为空。这个空不是普通的空，也不是显宗或是其他教门讲的空性。这个空性是代表有智慧，就是本质。本质的质跟空是双融在一起的，而不是普通就是讲空间的空。那在这个智空之中显现出来的光辉光明，也就是明镜。那个明镜呢，换句话也可以讲，就是说这是万物的光辉，它们显现，这个也就是从空明之中显现出来的。
In this tradition of the quintessential secret heart essence, which is the Upadesha class of Ati Yoga, and it really is the fourth cycle of that class, which emphasizes Trekchit and primarily Togel practice. We always must be believing and remembering that this wisdom is the basis of everything. It's the basis of our mind, or the ground, and it's the ground of everything. And so it's empty, but yet we say wisdom. We could say primordial consciousness, because there's a state of cognition which has always been there, but its essence is empty, its nature is luminously clear, and its quality is unobstructedly responsive as compassion. And these are called the three wisdoms of the basis, or the ground. This has to be known on this level of practice.
因为这个 Troma 是大圆满部的特别的法门，它不仅是它是口诀部，那是非常之秘密，它口诀部四部里面的之一出来的。那在这个四部之一里面出来，我们修的是什么？大部分修的是立断 Trekchit 或是顿超 Togel， 特别在 Togel 是特别要有很多修行上方面，比如说最基本的要懂什么是智，什么是智空。刚才讲的智空，那智空呢，也就是自己的本基地 Z， 基地上面显现出来的万物是空，然后这个空，那所有这个光这个基地的基上面显现出来的光辉呢，就代表说有空有明有悲，慈悲的悲，说空明跟悲这个三个智慧是非常 重要的。这个等于说基地的基是三智的代表，就是空、明跟慈悲的悲。
So these three, this is who you are. You may think you are, I may think I am Sangye. You may think you're Rufus, that you're not. You are these three wisdoms. That's your primordial state, as it always has been, and it always will be. And so the more that we familiarize with this, then our enlightenment is just around the corner, seriously. If we aren't familiar with this, then there's many stages to go through to get to this. This is it.
这个三个智慧就是代表我们自己本身就有的，而不是外面的。如果你不了解这个三个智的话呢，可能用其他的法门慢慢一步一步的修，这个也可以。可是这个不是，我们这个极静的法门就是这个智慧就是我自身就有的。那有的话，这个马上就代表就是说能得到解脱，就是很快就可以得到解脱。如果你能了解的话。
This is also Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, and Nirmanakaya. Which one is which?
这个也是三体法
I'm asking the question.
Oh.
Well, you can say the Chinese.
所以问题是，这个也是法界法身、化身、报身。现在是问问题，这是哪一身？
Anybody know?
谁知道吗？
Yes?
He said,
Essence is Dharmakaya.
Chuku.
Then? Yes, yes. And those three kayas in the practice that we're doing here, who are they? Samantabhadri, Dharmakaya, Dorje Palmo, Sambhogakaya, Vajravarahi, and Nirmanakaya, Troma Nagmo. Was that the Blue Angels or something? Oh my gosh.
I think it's a blue angel flying.
Auspicious.
Yeah. 美国军队的。所以刚刚有师姐答得很好，这个法身、化身、报身，那在这个法门里面的三身空情，所以呢，法身就是普贤佛母，报身是金刚亥母，化身是黑愤怒母 Troma。
Do you understand that in the Chinese? Is that clear?
听得懂吗？
Okay. So that's why we practice. Practice is not disassociated with who we are. Who we are is this, not our really, just temporary identity in this lifetime, in this fleeting lifetime. This is who we always have been, who we are now, and who we always will be. And yes, we're carrying our karmic baggage. But if we focus on this, there's no faster way to just completely dissolve all of that karmic baggage into its empty source, because it's temporary. And what is permanent is this, permanent, everlasting. Never disappointing, not interdependent, independent, stable, not unstable, permanent, not impermanent. The opposite of samsaric phenomena. So if we can familiarize with this, First, we're building a good habit of familiarizing with ordinary mind, but at some point, that's going to fall away, and we are left with our wisdom basis, as we always have been. When we die, it falls away naturally, and there's that moment, at the moment of death, right? We've all heard teachings, how the elements dissolve one into the other. And then finally, consciousness dissolves into space. And then space dissolves into clear light. And at that moment, the child luminosity, meaning the wisdom basis that's been with you all the while, now merges with the mother luminosity, which is that luminosity of the basis that's always present as the nature of all that is. And so from that point, one is liberated, or one goes on to assume other aspects of liberation in the Dharmata Bardo, or even one goes on to be liberated in the Bardo of existence, to be reborn in a Nirmanakaya pure realm as a bodhisattva, and from there to go on and be enlightened, but to never fall back into samsaric confusion again. And that's exactly what we want to accomplish, isn't it? Isn't that our goal? Nobody wants to stay as a confused sentient being forevermore. Not only is it brutal to ourselves, we are incapable of really helping anyone. Even though we think we're helping, we're doing some good deeds, yes. But if you compare that to how the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas are able to help sentient beings, it's as different as heaven and earth. You can't compare it. The teachers are giving this teaching continuously. It needs to make an impression upon us. We shouldn't just sit idle, because this is really the truth.
所以这就是为什么我们一定要修行，而知道我们虽然觉得修行上方面知道我们自己，就是知道我们自己的本质。是的，我们这一生带了很多业障，等于说一大堆包袱的业障，这是对的。可是以这种方法来修的话呢，我们等于是直接非常非常快的把这些业障给删除，而我们能到达一个永远的完整的，这是不停止的，是自立的这种原始的这种本性。那等于说就是这个完全不是在这个轮回之中，而是超出轮回之外。那在这个过程中，我们的很多素食习气你的 habit， 然后我们的自己的普通的唯思，完完全全都开始慢慢转化为智慧智空为底。就意识到我们修到最后这一辈子要走的要死的时候呢，我们很有可能都能得到解脱。在死的时候，我们的各种五种元素开始慢慢在融入，进入空境、恭敬，然后进入光明，在光明里面再以紫的这种光，这个紫的这种光辉，这紫的光辉就是融入投报到母的光辉，等于说就是我自身已经有的这种光明投到母的光辉。母的光辉是什么呢？就是这个基，本基的基，大圆满的名字本基 Z，the ground， 那个基就是回到那个本基的基，到那地方呢，等于说就自己得到解脱。那然后呢，也可以进到不同的轮回之中，六道不是中阴，对不起，中阴之中呢，也可以到化身的净土，变成菩萨门，然后再走更高的路程去得到正觉的解脱。那然后总而言之，就是说我们不是向反走， 我们是一直向前走，而我们这一世的话，不是说光坐在这个地方，我们有这个很难得的机会，就是要去得到正果。那我们可以看很多活菩萨，他们为什么？就是说，我们都晓得，我愿意去帮忙，帮这个人，帮那个人。可是看到活菩萨还有这么大的力量去帮人的时候，这个就是不同的地方，因为这活菩萨已经有了得到正果，然后他们真的可以帮的人是无量无数的人。所以讲说，我们不能就是说，通常就是什么事情不做，要努力的修行向前走。
The key is then recognizing and rekindling, familiarizing. And we should never think that this precious, innate, threefold wisdom Buddha nature, which we can call the three kaya dakini nature of who we are, that it's going to just self-manifest and we will be liberated easily because it's there. The problem is it's shrouded. It's like a sky covered with clouds. So there needs to be circumstances to move the clouds, energy, to clear that which is clouding or sullying our capacity to know this. And therefore, we practice. Therefore, we meet our teachers who tell us about this. Dujam Rinpoche, Gyaltsen Rinpoche, Yangtang Rinpoche, Pano Rinpoche, all of them have told us. Kenshin Namdro Rinpoche has told us for 20 years of highest teachings continuously about this. Go back and read the transcripts. Just listen. You will go, oh, okay, I remember. But that's not good enough. This really we have to take seriously, because the greatest loss in this life, in this precious human life, is to squander this knowledge and not actualize this now, at the moment of our death, or in the bardo. That's our chance. One chance. It's always going to be our nature, but we can't squander it. We have to be familiar.
重要性就是说，我们一直要提醒自己的本性本质，也就是三身空行母的代表。这个是自身的本性。如果我们真的能懂的话呢，马上就能得到解脱。可是呢，大部分我们都已经等于说这个本质已经被污染了。如同云在这个白的清白的天空上面，那我们得需要力量，需要动量，把这个云给牵除走。那也就是说，我们需要一个老师，如同敦珠法王、开出佛爷、杨当佛爷还有 Kenshin Nandro 都已经给了很高的哦，还有佩诺法王，
法王，
佩诺法王等等，给了很多这种很高的开示。我很希望你们，因为这些书都已经出了，能去读，让自己记得这些，他们都讲得很仔细。讲说不要忘记自己的本性。最糟糕的是听到法而不去做。我们这一世从现在到要进中阴的时候，就是这一刹那，就是这一次的机会。如果你不去修，不去琢磨，不去了解这些法的话呢，那等于说真的是很可惜。
I don't mean to be harping on and on about this, but I'm really talking to myself. And the most important thing, it boils down to this, especially as you get older. And now I find myself really getting older, having spent a whole lifetime in Dharma. And there's a lot of busy aspects to doing Dharma, which are all very good. These things are encouraged. We were just chatting about it with a friend. of serving the Dharma, and the lamas and pleasing them. None of that has to stop. But the view, somehow we tend to overlook it. And we're busy doing those things just with ordinary mind or with good intentions. But that's not this view that I'm talking about. Recognizing what is the real true nature of everything. And then you can be busy, we can be busy, doing all the different Dharma activities to the best of our capacity, or non-Dharmic activities, daily life, being a good person, helping others, being kind, having positive energy. But without the view, it all becomes totally ordinary and life goes by and we have nothing at the time of death.
我不要让你们觉得我一直在有点啰嗦念这个，其实我在讲我自己，我自己现在年龄也大了，也这一辈子帮助多少佛法，帮助多少喇嘛，这是非常好的事，做了很多佛法的事业。可是很多时候我们不而不知，觉得我们自己的见地、自己的 view 就会忘记掉，那忘记到时常会就变成普通这种没有见地的这种看法、见观，这是想起来是非常有点恐怖的。虽然我们有时候觉得要帮人，我们心地很好、善良，可是非常重要的是，就是说我们进行佛法，特别我们得到这种教授，要知道什么是这种很深的见地。那有了这个见地的话呢，不仅说我们在做佛法或者是普通的事业，这个都是非常之好，因为你有了见地就是不同。我们就是不管做琐琐碎碎的事情你就是有了见地的话呢，你做任何琐碎之事，你帮人，你有慈悲，你有善心等等，都是非常之有意义、有帮助，而不是说到了最后我们要死的那一刹，你的见地在什么地方？
So if we still might wonder, okay, well, just what is the view? What is it that I'm supposed to be thinking or viewing? It's not exactly clear because I've had all these teachings and I can't really just, put it into one way of knowing. So what I'm saying here is all we need to know is the basis of our mind, the essence of our mind as threefold wisdom. And because the essence is empty, the nature is radiant, luminous, cognizant, all those things fall into the category of nature. And the quality is unobstructedly responsive. It has this capacity, power, the power of compassion that has no limitations or boundaries. Just remember that that's who you are. You're not your self-identity. You think that this is who I am. And all qualities of the state of Buddha are contained there. And the teachings about those qualities are infinite. The qualities of enlightened body, the qualities of enlightened speech, the qualities of enlightened mind, qualities and activities, and then times 555, and on from there. There's endless, infinite qualities of the state of awakening, but it all comes down to these three. So just confidence and knowing and holding that and then practicing with that view so that you're no longer materializing or making the practice your own ego's practice, like identifying with your ego. And so becoming a proud, boastful Dharma practitioner. That won't happen. You'll become a humble, simple servant of the Dharma. And all the good things will follow.
我们也许有些听过很多见地的 一些教授、一些传法，或也许了解，可是有些对见地还是不懂。什么是真正的见地？我什么时候有呢？什么知道这是真的呢？只要了解一个方法，它的见地的这个见这个地是主要，它的精华就是在刚才讲说三的智空里面，就是说我的心思为空，我的本性为光明然后显现出来。空明显现出来这个慈悲，这慈悲不是普通的慈悲，是大圆满里面的慈悲，那个是无阻碍的，是不能挡的这种慈悲。那这个就是应该了解，这个就是我就是这个三智的这个智空的代表。那这个所有呢，其他讲说身口意事业等等这些加持，这些的不同的显现的这个身口意的这些无限的显示，这基本上浓缩下来，就是代表就是说，我对帮助你，就是说有这个信心在建立你这个见地上面。所以呢，这个让你不是说，因为你修错的话，你就会想说，哦。我是很棒的，我是很骄傲，我是这个断心法修行者等等，是有这种人，可是这个完全是错的。相反的，我们应该要谦虚，我们应该要做佛的服从者，来服侍佛法等等，这个才是真正的。假使你能这样子做下来的话，有这种见地，而所有好的东西也会慢慢的出来。
These three wisdoms are also called the three wisdoms of the ground of Dharmakaya. And so you may remember this whole talk started with emptiness endowed with wisdom presence. So that means Dharmakaya, the starting point of any practice, the starting point of who we are, the starting point of reality. And so they're called, these are actually the three wisdoms of the Dharmakaya. And then there are 5 wisdoms of the Sambhogakaya. We're also familiar with 5 wisdoms. Mirror-like wisdom, evenness wisdom, Dharmadhatu wisdom, discerning wisdom, and all-accomplishing wisdom that correspond to 5 directions, 5 families, 5 Buddhas, 5 elements, 5 passions, and so forth. So these are Sambhogakaya wisdoms. They're called, in terminology, the 5 wisdoms that sustain features. The 3 wisdoms of the ground have no features. It's Dharmakaya. Dharmakaya is formless. There's nothing tangible. There's no feature. Sambhogakaya is still intangible to those who don't see with wisdom awareness. But for those who do, Sambhogakaya Buddhas see each other, or Sambhogakaya self appears to the beholder. So it's like seeing your own essence as these 5 wisdoms that sustain features.
所以这个3个智空开始讲的话呢，我们每一个为什么修这个法，刚开始很重要的，我一直提到这个3智，3智也就是法界的地基，它的本基法界，那就是以空性显现出，就是法界的智慧的显现。那这个，所以这个很重要，就是我们每次修法时候要有这个态度，是从这个地方来开始的。我们是以这个角度，这个看观，这个观法来看，然后再继续修下去的话呢，就有法身，对不起，法身是法身。那然后报身的话就是5智，5智的话有 明镜智、平等智，然后妙观察智所有等等这些五智，然后也代表了五方佛、五方佛母、5个元素、五蕴等等，这个都是每一层的。那再讲回到刚才三智慧的话呢，是没有特征的，等于说没有特征。比如说法身跟报身，那种是没特征的，所以你通常是看不到，除非就是说你得到证悟，就是可能可以看得到这种智慧的这种显现，那才好。因为在报身这些佛菩萨，他们是可以看到对方的，因为他们已经得到证悟，他们可以看到以这种智慧显现的互相可以看到互相。
And then there's 2 more wisdoms, which correspond to Nirmanakaya. So we say wisdom, the Tibetan word is yeshe, and this can also be translated as primordial consciousness, the consciousness which has endured from beginningless time. But wisdom. Sometimes wisdom is a better choice when you're translating literature because primordial consciousness is bulky and involves 2 terms. And so to say wisdom is more flowing in English, but it's yeshe. What is that in Chinese?
本质。
So
Sherab 是智慧 ，and then yeshe 是本质，原本智慧。
yeah, so it's this Benshin. Yep.
Yeah.
And so there's 2 that correspond to Nirmanakaya. And what are they? 2 states of omniscient wisdom knowledge that all Nirmanakaya Buddhas have, but it is the nature of our mind. We have this. It is the Troma Nagmo aspect. 2 omniscient wisdoms, knowing the way things are and knowing how things appear according to the way they really are. These 2 wisdoms. So in other words, the capacity to see anything as its true nature, as you see it. It doesn't matter what it is. And while simultaneously you understand it in its diversity or multiplicity. You understand why it's complicated, complex, disgusting, or wonderful, or whatever characteristic it has, doesn't depart from what it really is. And so the Nirmanakaya state of wisdom has this 2-fold wisdom capacity.
还有2个智慧，那藏文是耶谁，其实不能应该用中文，不应该讲智慧，因为智慧是 sharp。那耶谁的话是原本的智慧，就本质。那英文是 primordial consciousness。可是很多时候呢，我们就会讲 wisdom， 因为 wisdom 比较容易比较顺口在英文。那在这边的话是讲耶谁这个本质。那这个2个智慧是在化身中里面有的，一个就是等于说是原本的全知，他全知也就是了解自己的本性是什么。那自己本性是什么的话，就是他有这种能力，不管是什么万物万象的显现，这只是显现而已。就是说这2种智慧，等于说全知跟了解这个显现是什么。
So now we have 3, 5, and 2. These wisdoms corresponding to Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, Nirmanakaya, all within our innate nature. And even though we say emptiness, it is endowed with wisdom presence in this way. What is the wisdom presence? All these wisdoms. And how does that correspond to what we're practicing here? 3 Kaya wisdom dakinis. And so when you think of yourself as Troma Nagmo, is Troma Nagmo without Sambhogakaya and Dharmakaya? Is she just a Nirmanakaya? Can that be? Why? Somebody know? Yes? Mimi? That's right. And why are they inseparable? Because they are the display, the manifestation of these wisdoms, which are the nature of your primordial consciousness is that. We all are that. That's who we are. That's what we need to believe in and have confidence in. So by practicing, if you're not aware of these things and you're practicing on a deity, it's really, in my opinion, not really going to work. You have to be informed. That's why I'm taking the time to try to explain it, because I suspect that sometimes these points get overlooked or forgotten or maybe haven't been described really explicitly and carefully and slowly. It's so important. Anytime, any deity, it's not just Troma Nagmo that is inseparable three kayas. It's all deities. But especially here, it's clearly delineated that you have three dakinis all wrapped up into one, and all three kayas are present there.
所以讲到这么多的本质，什么三个、五个、两个，三个法身，五个报身，两个化身，全部都是我们自身就有的这个本质。那再讲到空性跟这个智慧的，再提到就是说空性跟这个智慧的这个显现，这个智空这两个，那智空两个呢，特别在这个法里面，也就是三身空行母，特别这个黑海母的三身空行母。那我们肯定问问题，我刚刚问了一些问题说，Troma 它是只有法身呢、化身呢，还是只有两身，还是一身怎么样？那刚才有同学也回答讲说，其实是三体合一，三体合一。那这个是非常重要的，要了解。这个有另外同学回答的是，如同太阳跟阳光这两个是不能分开的，这都是对的。那我们修法特别很重要是，有的时候我们可能是忘记了，或是不晓得。我觉得这非常之重要。不管你是修什么样的本尊法，如果你没有这种了解的话，就是其实真的可能以后会出问题的。所以我们要了解这10个智慧，然后有信心。代表我们修的话，也要建立这种信心，特别是在黑黑奴母的本尊法里面，特别讲说是三身空行，法身、化身、报身讲得清清楚楚的，所以这是非常重要，非常重要。
So then, for the Troma's laughter that suppresses through splendor, first, all appearances are emptiness endowed with wisdom presence. And then you imagine, like an eagle pursuing a bird. Think you're in a cemetery. There's always this reference to a cemetery because this literature finds its environment where it arrived to be India and Tibet, where they had these so-called charnel grounds. And corpses were just thrown there, and demons and spirits resided there, and dakinis resided there, and great Mahasiddhas resided there. So we don't really have that exact physical environment anymore, but we can recreate it with our mind. And so you imagine that you are in that kind of an environment. And you are now calling forth and bringing together all the gods and demons in that environment as a giant, dark-colored individual who is like, the representative of all the gods and demons. And so you pick him up by the feet with your right hand, and you circle him over your head 3 times. And while you're circling 3 times, you think that all the gods and demons of the 3 realms dissolve into him. And then you smash him or pound him on the ground 3 times, thinking that you're subduing the 3 poisons of anger, desire, and ignorance. And then you turn him over on his back, and the entire Troma mandala is generated on top of him. So you are there as the principal Dakini, but the entire mandala surrounds you. All the spirits lose their power, and now they are taking refuge in you as Troma, as they dissolve underneath your seat.
在空性之中，我们开始要修这个驾驭威慑愤怒母的怀笑啊，那就是说，如同一个老鹰在追鸟，在空性之中，我们飞到这个穆斯林。那这个就是以前在印度和西藏有这种人地方，就是他们尸体啊，然后有鬼啊、空行啊，跟一些马哈斯的大成就是都在那个地方修行等等，或者在那种地方在那种地方。那虽然我们在现在这种国家没有，可是我们能观想自己到那种地方，在那地方上呢，在那个地方，然后开始有很多鬼神，充满鬼神。那然后你观想他们这些鬼神在你面前出现出来，他们是一坨很大的黑色的，像一个人一样的。那你用你的手去抓他的右脚，在你头上甩3次，甩3次代表就是说所有鬼神被招钩在他的身体里面，这个魔的身体里面，然后拿他的那个尸身呢，向地上摔打3次，摔打3次就是说去驱除这个3毒、憎恨痴。那然后再把它翻过来的时候呢，整个这个 Troma 的这个坛城会在上面显现，就 Troma 跟他的所有的眷属。那然后这些所有的鬼神魔都是突然完全没有力量了，就在这个 Troma 的脚下。
So you're imagining all the gods and maras are suppressed under a giant sun mandala below your feet, and the wisdom dakinis are dancing upon this. Both Pawo and Pamo, Dakas and Dakinis, are in the dance of upaya, method, and prajna, or incisive knowledge. And that below this dance, the spirits are there screaming and crying. This screaming and crying represents the death of self-cherishing, the death of yourself. It's really all about having just completely suppressed the notion of your true existence as a self-identity. And so Doksin, this self-identity, is crying and screaming because it doesn't go down easily. And then you say pet 3 times, and you begin the practice. So if you're pitching a tent, if you're going out wandering, you're in a retreat in that regard, then you would also recite this practice and do this visualization with 5 stakes or purbas that you would use to pitch your tent, representing the subjugation of the 5 poisons, becoming the 5 wisdoms. And then you stake, in that case, for the dance of suppression, you're staking this representative of all the gods, demons, this man, you're staking him down in 5 places. So one of the purvas goes through his head, the other 2 his hands, and the other 2 his feet. And you actually remain in Rigpa after having done that. After you've set up this visualization, then you rest in the empty nature of that for a while.
所以要去修这个法之前，就观想。刚刚讲到，我们念这个怀孝文的时候，就是所有魔神魔都被招住，刚才讲的等等。然后在这个里面呢，有个日轮，日轮上面呢就是有智慧的显现，智慧本尊，还有他的眷属是永父永母，他们永父永母跟智慧的代表。那然后在他们在智慧的舞姿之中，而他们脚下踩的都是一些魔。那你可以听到这些魔在哭，在叫，在喊。那这个为什么这个哭喊是什么意思呢？这个哭喊就是代表，就是说自己的执着是已经死掉了，自己的自我已经删除了，所以这是代表，因为自我是非常难除的，所以自己的这个字是非常难除去的，所以也代表说这个魔在那边哭，在那边叫。然后开始念3声的 pet。如果你想在外面闭关，真的有地方闭关的话，你有个帐篷的话呢，你可以用5个钉子，或是5个普巴 purba。那5个 purba 怎么钉呢？这个钉就是代表钉这个魔，它的头部1个，双手2个，双脚2个，代表是把5毒转化为5智，然后这些神魔也完全消除迁除。然后做完这个以后呢，就要进入明觉的入定之中，在空性中静坐一段时间。
And so then now you're ready to actually start reading the liturgy, which starts with the resounding of the 3 pets, at which time you have quelled through splendor or suppressed through splendor this self-grasping. All of the spirits and demons and gods of self-grasping are now below your feet, crying out. And you begin reading the liturgy, which we start Dong, Sungye, Dong, Chempo, the trichiliocosm universe, including all realms of the world system, is subsumed within the vast expanse of self-appearances. Now, this reference to Tong Sungye Tong Chempo, or we translate it as trichiliocosm, Pema Lungto Gyatso goes into a long explanation on what that means in the Dujum Lingpa's Chut commentary. And so rather than take time to go into that here, you should refer to that, but it's very interesting to take note of. And it really means the realms of the Saha world that we're in, which go on into infinity. And so all of that is brought into or subsumed within the expanse of self-appearances. That's a whole nother explanation, because it is pointing out to us that all of this appears to ourself, which doesn't necessarily mean that it appears in the same way to others. And so it's created by our karma. We could put it that way. These are karmic appearances that we think we are seeing. And so we are, but they have no true inherent existence because they're self-appearing. And it's probably the case that no one else is seeing it in the same way that we're seeing it. And that proves it. So here we are actualizing the selflessness of the environment, which is the trichiliocosm. And then we go on to say pet. Pet actualizes visualizations. PET serves many functions. It's the union of upaya and prajna, the two syllables pa and tra together. PET means male and female united as awam, in union. It's a powerful syllable that serves many functions, but for the most part, in the sadhana practice, it stabilizes or reifies one's visualization for that moment. So then that PET is doing that there, and then you go on to continue. The self-appearing dynamic strength of boundless magical manifestations of dakinis causes all gods maras of duality to collapse within the fundamental nature of selflessness. Now you are actualizing two further aspects of selflessness: the selflessness of the gods maras of duality and the selflessness of yourself. So environment, gods maras, and self are all non-existent. But you're acknowledging that they self-appear through the power now of the boundless magical manifestations of dakinis, because that's what you're doing, and you have become the mandala of the dakinis, and now you're going to invite all the 5 main mandalas of the dakinis to join you. And so when you say PET 3 times here, you are inviting them. The first PET means they hear you. The second PET means they're departing. And the third PET means they approach. They have approached.
所以有这个法本的可以看。那开始是3声的 pet pet pet， 然后像通松基通前等等啊。那这边开始就是观想3000大千世界融于在自相之中，很中意的这个 self appearing 自相，自己想显现的，他们呢是自相而不是真的，这个是很注意。那完全这个自相的显现是完完全是我们自己的自己的因果而造成，在这个自相之中呢，并不是说它是真实的，也许我们看得到，别人不见得能看得到。所以我们在这边观想是自己是智慧本尊，然后邀请五方空行一起来。那这个 pet 这个字其实是很有含义的字。这个 pa 跟 tra， 它是 pet 呢是代表智慧跟方法2个双融，那 pa 也就是代表father mother
Upaya and prajna.
所以这个 pa 也是代表智慧跟方法。那藏文有些讲 a wang 也就是这个代表这个意思，也就是智跟法2个相融。那自相的话，代表说我们自相，虽然我们看到地下把神鬼都招过来，我们也同样的可以把五方空行一起招过来这边。然后你念3声 pet， 第1声 pet 是我听到了，第2声 pet 我准备上路了，第3声 pet 我到了。
So this self-appearing, it also indicates wisdom appearances. So we've already established that the basis or the ground of our consciousness is endowed with wisdom presence, right? And so when we see appearances in practice that we are intentionally, in a sense, we're creating them, but if we allow it to come from the view, it's not so much a creation, if you will, such as generation stage, because this is Maha Ati. And it's not just Maha, it's Ati. So it's not that you're creating, it's that you are allowing the wisdom presence of who you are to present itself. So itself appears. And this is an important point. There's a difference to sit there and try to create the visualization with your mind and get all the details right. Or you've heard the teaching of what you are going to be doing, so you allow it to happen from within your wisdom presence. If you can accomplish the latter, you will progress on your path much more quickly in the right direction for Ati practice, when we're still practicing in this way in terms of Ati.
那所以在这边刚刚讲到自身这个是自身呢，也是就是说让你的自相，对不起，自相自身显现的这个相，也就是智慧的代表。那它也是这就是你本基上面来的显现出来的智慧代表。这个跟完全是以见地里面的见地里面的来我们来修，这是正悟的。那而不是说普通的生气次第，Maha Yoga 讲的生气次第，我们这边是 Maha 跟阿提两个联合在一起，是有生气次第跟大圆满的两个是双融，所以不是说我们只是观想自身为什么样的一个本尊，而是呢，这个让你自然而然的你的自心的智慧显现出来的这个色相，那这个自身的色相呢，就是智慧的代表。如果你能让这种方法来修的话呢，那成就会快非常之多。那反而另外的方法呢，就是变成很普通的升起次第的修法。
Okay, so we recited Pet 3 times. Now the Dakinis of the 5 directions, the 5 mothers, have heard us. They began their journey towards us, and they are approaching. And you blow your thigh bone trumpet 3 times while playing the bell and rolling the drum. The bell represents prajna, and the drum upaya, or method. And then you begin with the general melody for suppression through splendor. And so you begin with Buddha Dakini. First, you have invited and you acknowledge the presence of Buddha Dakini of the central direction. And through the fearless conduct of the basic space of phenomena, which is her wisdom, the Dharma Dhatu wisdom, then this quells the gods and maras of delusion. Dharma Dhatu wisdom is the antithesis of delusion. And so these gods and maras of delusion are overcome and suppressed through the splendor of Buddha Dakini of the central direction, who represents Dharma Dhatu wisdom. And then you say Pet 3 times, which causes the gods and maras of delusion to just completely vanish into the expanse of the 3 kayas.
然后我们开始念3声 Pet， 然后邀请佛部中央佛部空行母，中央佛部空行母的代表，也就是法界体性智的进行 ，fearless conduct 进行。那在这进行中呢，是要怎么样？是驾驭这些愚痴愚笨痴呆的鬼神。那念3声 pet 的时候，再念3声 pet 3声，这些鬼跟神呢，完全去等于说降服、征服这些愚痴的鬼神，如空界中三声界中。
And the rest are similar. Next is Vajradakini of the eastern direction, through the fearless conduct of mirror-like wisdom. Remember, these are the 5 wisdoms that sustain features and belong to the Sambhogakaya. So these are the Sambhogakaya Dakinis who are arriving here. So through this mirror-like wisdom, what happens? The gods and maras of hatred or aggression are quelled, and overcome, they are suppressed through splendor, through wisdom splendor. Pe has the same meaning.
相同的，在东部东方金刚空行母这个空行母呢，代表是大圆净智，然后以大圆净智的净行来镇压降服，特别是这种有憎恨的这种鬼魂，然后憎恨鬼魂也一样的三身配，把他们消除在三界中。
And then Ratnadakini of the southern direction, through the fearless conduct of the wisdom of evenness. This wisdom of evenness quells the gods' maras of pride. Overcome, they are suppressed through splendor. Pe.
同样的，在南方宝生空行母是平等性质的进行，然后也是驾驭什么？驾驭的鬼神是傲慢。同样的，三身配消除清净到三界中。
And then Padmadakini of the western direction, through the fearless conduct of discerning wisdom. Discerning wisdom quells the gods' maras of desire. Overcome, they're suppressed through splendor. Pe.
西方莲花空行母是代表妙观察智，以这种他的这种进行是怎么驾驭什么是贪跟欲，然后同样的三身配解脱这个贪欲。
Karma Dakini of the northern direction, through the fearless conduct of all-accomplishing activity, the gods' maras of jealousy are quelled. Overcome, they're suppressed through splendor. Pe.
最后在北方事业不空行，是成所作智的进行，而降服嫉妒之鬼神，同样的三身配。
And then, by the truth of the triple gem of refuge, the compassion, did we do to Karma Dakini? Did I skip that? Anyway, Karma Dakini of the northern direction, through the fearless conduct of all accomplishing activity, is quelling the gods' maras of jealousy.
Yeah.
Overcome, they're suppressed through splendor. Pe. I said, okay. So by the truth of the triple gem of refuge, that means Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, the compassion of the Trikaya Dakinis, that means Samanta Bhadri, Vajravarahi, and Krotikali, and the blessings of the five great mothers, the five Dakinis who were just referred to, Buddha, Vajra, Ratna, Pema, and Karma, the five great mothers. Kingly demonic forces are overcome. Female demonic forces are overcome. Subterranean and elemental forces are overcome. Demonic forces of the environment and body are overcome. All are fully suppressed through splendor. And usually this refrain is done 3 times, so you'll go back and repeat this last part that I just read again, by the truth of the triple gem. And that will be repeated 3 times, and then you complete. When it says, in conclusion, roll the drum with the concluding crescendo. So that concluding crescendo comes at the end of sections. And so it's not just where you snap the drum after rolling it for a minute. It's when you go like this. One, two, three, four. So that's the concluding crescendo, when you do those 4 at the end. So when you see, when it says that, that's what you do. Otherwise, you don't need to do the long one like that.
然后下面就是讲到真谛， 刚开始是第一个讲说一护三宝的真谛，然后紧接着讲三身空行的慈悲，那三身普贤佛母、金刚亥母、黑愤怒母，再紧接着请求五方佛母，这个五部的佛母，佛、金刚、莲花、宝身等等，然后再讲继续念下去的话是富的邪的魔王要驾驭降服他们，跟女魔的妖女也要降服驾驭他们，还有龙王地主也要降服，还有降服所有土地魔的不好的土地公这个生魔的这种驾驭，所以让最后是一切不好的完全正威跟降服。降服完了以后呢，这个真谛呢要念3遍，就是刚刚从一护三宝之真谛要念3遍，3遍完了以后呢，就像刚才我示范的摇铃那个鼓铃要这样子的念法，这样子才能结束它。
So that's the Dakini's laughter practice. And this will precede the sadhana practices and the feasts practices. And it would be like the first thing you would do in the morning, even if you're going to do ngundro only. So it's very, very important. That's why I took the time to go through it more thoroughly.
Did you say do this before the ngundro too? Mm-hmm. Okay.
I mean, don't have to, but usually you would. You would want to.
所以为什么我花了这么多时间想说这个空性母怀孝的这个祈请文是非常重要的。通常是这一段是在修这个供施，或者是修他的仪轨，或者是你要修前行，都最好去比如说你在修行时一大早上起来，第一步就是念这个。其实虽然你不需要修，可是是非常之重要的。
Then we recite the 7-line prayer 3 times, and then go into the supplication prayer. And this order, sequence, is common to all sadhanas. In Nyingma tradition, the Dakini's laughter is common to Troma, but to start with the 7-line prayer is common to all, and then that leads you into a supplication prayer. In the intermediate sadhana, we have 3 supplication prayers. There's actually a 4th, which is much longer, that can be done sometimes too in place of the 3. And so whatever the case here, Rinpoche included this supplication prayer to the immediate incarnations of the Dujam line. And so that begins on page 9. And I think it pretty much speaks for itself, but we can just read through it for a minute here.
所以在很多修弘教的话，我们下面都是念莲师的7支祈祷文，然后7支祈祷文呢，开始有各不同的转世的祈祷文。那仁波切是特别选了这一个，通常在中轨里面有4个这种启示转世的祈祷文，他是选了这一个。那这个的话呢，其实自己来读，就讲说这个主要的是讲敦珠传承的转世，大家可以自己去读。
When it starts out, it's really this beautiful analogy. In the likeness of the full moon, the essence of the Sugata's inner radiance appears like a water moon to the perceptions of disciples. So this is pointing out the Nirmanakaya. Those who are fortunate to see or meet a Nirmanakaya is like seeing a water moon. It is a reflection of the actual moon in the sky. And so that indicates to us how these Nirmanakaya Buddhas enter into our realm according to our perceptions so that we can make a connection, like seeing the water moon.
讲读这1、2情，说如来藏之自相如满月，有情面前现如水月行。那这个就是指化身的代表。 化身是什么？因为我们在水面上看到这个月亮，就等于说月亮在这个水上这个显现出来，这显现出来这个含义，也就是说了解这个就是化身的代表。
I supplicate to this peerless, self-appearing master. And so this is, here comes this term again, the rangnang, the self-appearing, tunpa, master in this case. That means the one who points out the self-appearing essence to you as the disciple. And this Nirmanakaya self-appears in that you are the beholder of the Nirmanakaya. It depends upon your fortune. It doesn't belong to others' phenomena. It is self-appearing from within your wisdom nature. And that also indicates to us that we could at any time, if our kleshas are cleared, we could be witnessing the self-appearing master at any time in any way. It's not limited. It's only limited because we are. His or her capacity to appear to us is just like that water moon, exactly like that. So there has to be a pool for it to appear in, right, to reflect. And that indicates the mind that is ready to receive.
下面紧接着是祈请自相殊胜之导师，我持幻觉，熄灭请加持。那这个含义特别藏文字讲 rangnam 这个自相自身显现的色相，那这个也就是我自己自身，而不是外面的。所以呢，假如说我自己的五蕴是很少的话呢，你五蕴很少的，你的 five poison 很少的话，那你自然而然就是说，你这个自相就可以显现出，你可以看得到这个导师，这个导师就是如同月亮在水般上的显现，这是可能的。
And then you pray to the Master, grant blessings. What kind of blessings? Grant blessings for the confused concept of self to fall apart.
所以当在这边开始念，请求导师，请求上师去熄灭、迁除我这些执着、幻觉。
Based on the habit of confused fixation with non-existent true identity, in order to guide all of those of lesser faculties, I supplicate you, the masters of the three lineages.
一直念下，就是请求导师、上师，特别是删除我的一些习气、执着，这些我是下等的弟子，让迁除这些习气执着。
Wisdom, symbolic, and oral lineages, the three. Grant blessings, all masters of these lineages. Grant me your blessings to fully actualize the fundamental nature. What is the fundamental nature? The three wisdoms of the ground, the Dharmakaya wisdoms of the ground. May I actualize this nature.
这边写了为了真相见证赐加持，那上面中文可能有些会反过来是祈请称为三乘之上师，那基本上这意思就是讲说这个 fundamental nature 啊 Neluk yeah Neluk 那讲说这个字呢就是你的三刚才讲过的三至空的这个寂低跟这个法身的寂低，这个就是三智的，就讲说这个本质的这个意思。
Now he starts listing the past lives. Supreme Master of the Buddhas of this fortunate aeon, known as the Lord of Yogans, Nudan Dorje. I mentioned earlier the first Buddha of the 1002 of this light aeon, Nudan Dorje. That's who Heruka Dujam Lingpa was, or Jigdral Yeshe Dorje. So Nudan Dorje. Then Shariputra of superb prajna. We all know Shariputra, Buddha's direct principal disciple. Then Lopon Hunkara, who actualized Yangdak Heruka. he was an Indian saint. Then Drokben Kechung was Tibetan, one of the 25 disciples who manifested Dorje Trolot.
下面紧接着请求他们所有敦珠的转世，刚刚讲过 Nuden Dorje， 瑜伽聚力金刚，也是敦珠的第一世的转世。然后紧接着有 Shari Puja， 大家应该都晓得舍利子尊者，还有紧接着是下面有印度的那个 Hunkara， 他是修那个 Yandak， 这个 Yandak 的这个本尊很有名的。还有下面在另外一个修是 Rowan Qchung， 那他是修愤怒莲师 Dorje Trolot。
And then Drumgi Garnakpa, that's Garnakpa of Drum, who rendered the Dharmata evident. Hepa Chujungwa, who achieved all aspirations. Dudul Dorje Sal, who attained the 8 cities. This Dudul Dorje Sal is the one who revealed the White Tara practice. He restored the Kadok Monastery in 1656. Terton Rigzin Dudul Dorje. He was a student of Jatsen Ningpo, and so he was also a predecessor of the Dujum line. And then Dudul Ropasal, who wanders the realm of space activity. He was a teacher of Jigme Lingpa. And then Dorje Trolot, from whom the Dharmata welled forth, that's Dujum Lingpa himself.
紧接着下面讲不同的这些转世 Rungi Karnapa， 那他是法性实现的显现。下面有 Hepa Chojung， 也是发愿成就的尊者。然后下面有Dudu Dorje Sal， 这个就是我们这边实际上修的白度母，他也是卡托克，那时候卡托转成卡托一个大的 Rigzin， 然后他是加宋宁普的这个扶藏师的弟子。再接走下去的是 Dudu Ropa Sal， 他是那个转世是 Jigme Lingpa 的上师。那在下面走的是 Drowo Lut， 这个 Drowo Lut 其实基本上是敦珠灵帕第一世。
And then gradually appearing in hundreds of emanations to guide beings. So we shouldn't think limited to just these masters who are listed here. As we know from Gyalta Rinpoche sharing with us the 5 emanations of Dujum just in Tibet, and so on and so forth, and it goes on from there with emanations out in all of the realms, benefiting beings simultaneously. This is why Buddha activity eclipses anything we could ever imagine to try to do to benefit beings according to our present limited state. So we pray to the embodiment of the wisdom mind of all the victors. Grant the potential to stir samsara from the depths. That means empty the realms of samsara.
紧接着下去有讲度化众生100种的显现，比如说开出佛爷，我们都知道跟了敦珠的身口意的话显现在西藏时候，很多有些弟子都晓得见过，所以意思就是说他的化身有上百种，各种一直不停的转化。那我们请求诸福密意聚集在，请求诸菩萨加持而跳出这个轮回，除掉轮回之根。
In the future, appearing as Dorje Trokpotsal, that is the Rigden Galpo of Shambhala, and together with 1 billion disciples, you will arrive in Shambhala to become Dorje Nunbo, the king of Shambhala. And as the future Buddha, Mupa Taye, the final Buddha of this golden age, the beings in the 3 realms of samsara will be stirred from their depths. I supplicate you, incomparable Supreme Master, by the strength of this single-pointed prayer, and by directly realizing the truth of Trekchit's cutting through to the Dharmata and perfecting the 4 visions of Togal, may fully enlightened Buddhahood occur in the ever youthful Vaskaya.
紧接着在请求是 Dorje Drogpo Cell， 那以后他是香巴拉的转世，还有上百亿的友情都会跟着他一起到这种这个跟着他的转世。那然后另外一个又是他是多杰 Nompo， 他是香巴拉的国王之一。然后到了最后的转世是最后一个佛摩帕塔也是会敦珠的转世。那这个祈请文就是请求他们所有去净除三界轮回的根本，然后请其无上特殊的上师来加持起这个缘，而亲近得到立断的真正的实义，跟圆满顿超里面的四项的修持，愿以后可以成就到童子平生。
And so that's the supplication prayer that's included here, and that's a good auspicious place to conclude the teaching for now. And maybe at another time we can pick up from this point and continue to go through in more detail. But just if you look here at the final lines, by the strength of this prayer, then you are specifically praying to what is the real essence of this path, to directly realize Trekchit, to cut through to the nature of the Dharmata, which is mind's nature, and perfect the four visions of Togel, which is to see the true nature of all appearances as the spontaneous presence of the basis or the ground. And may fully enlightened Buddhahood occur in the ever youthful Vaskaya. This term, Shonu Bumku. Shonu, ever youthful, it means immortal. Immortal because this essence is forever. It is immortal. It's omnipresent. And Bumku Vaskaya, it is reference to the three wisdoms of the Dharmakaya nature that we already described, that's always there. In a way you can think within you or as who you are, or there's just an image of a kaya, an embodiment with a light inside, and it's all enclosed and it's forever illuminating. And so we can think of that image, this ever youthful Vaskaya, to be the nature of who we really are, rather than our ego identity.
其实现在我们讲到这个地方是很好的地方来停了，是非常吉祥的。这个祈请文念完，我希望下次以后我们可以再有时间再继续的教下去，从这一步再教下去。其实你特别在最后这个几条里面讲这个法，他特别提到要强调在说修到 structure 立断的真谛，那立断的是真谛，然后再紧接着修顿超的四项完全圆满的就是说万象显现的这个圆满的意思。那这边有讲到这个顿超，那在顿超是 Do you something about spontaneous presence of the ground or
Togel?
Togel 啊，顿超就是地基上自然的这种任运显现。那然后最后讲就是说童子平生，那讲藏文匈奴的话是童子，不要讲说其实它童子其实含义非常深的，它基本上是不死无死，这个荣辱是无死的，是永恒的、永远的。那 Bongkor 是这个身，这个身是代表什么身呢？我们刚刚讲过三智，三这个空智的，其实刚刚都已经讲过。所以你要以每次修到这个念到这个地方的时候呢，尽量去想，就是说啊，这是我的目的，我要到达，我要修到这个童子 平生，童子平生，而童子平生是等于说细如顿超里面的四象发光，是一个光体，而这个光体是灿烂的显现，这个也是代表说我的成就，这是我一个目标。可是记住了，这是好的目标，而不是自我的自我的这种看法。
Okay, we'll take our break here, and then at 4 o'clock, we can begin the concise sadhana. Om Benzar Sato Samaya Sawasiri me priyato sawakama sitsamay sitanjiri Samaya Sato. How many people are on there?
We have 135.
Oh, good. They got in. Okay. Come back, make puja.
4点钟再来修短轨回供，然后亚洲时间是早上7点。谢谢。
Those of you who don't have instruments, please join along anyway. And if you want to, you can read the English and then also try to join with the melodies.
如果没有法器的没有关系，就一直跟的。如果你有法本的话，就是可以静静的念的，都可以。
We start with Dakini's laughter, page 1.
第1页空行怀笑。
Pai, pai, pai. Dong sum gi dong chenpo jig den gi kam. Tam che da gi nang wei long chen por up du du shing yon su chu par gyur. Pai. Yeshe rong sao gendril gi khandro ma pak du me. Zunzin rudra ladre tamche dak me ne luking andu shik par gyur. Sangye Khandro me Shuye ye shi du shuye Di mu la zhi wang du di wang du du la zu di man Hai bat hai Ma shar jo do je khandro me long ye shi tu tu di je zhuang la zhi wang du di wang du du la zu di nan hai bat hai Ma lo cho rin shen khandro me ya ni ye shi tu shu ni Ma ya la zhi wang du di wang du du la zu di nan hai bat hai Ma nu cho pe ma khandro me so no ye shi Sangye Khandro me jaru yeshe dushuge Sangye Wang Judy Wang Judy Matsukinan Hai Bat Hai Gap Gun Chosungi Dem Padang Usung Khandro Suchedan Yung Shen Ai Jin Lucky Pongan Gao Dong Wang Du Mo Den Dre Mo Wang Du Di Lu De Sana Wang Du Maiden Lu De Wang Du Du Dong Jizuki Sun Gyorji Hai Bat Hai Gap Gun Chosuki Dem Padang Usum Khandro Dang Yung Shen Ai Jin Lucky Podan Gao Dong Wan Du Mo Den Dre Mo Wang Du Di Lu Den Da Da Wan Du Ne Den Lu Den Wang Du Di Tam She Zugi Nang Gyorji Hai Pat Hai Gap Gun Chosungi Den Padang Kusum Khandro Sujedang Yung Chen Ai Jin Lucky Podan Gao Gong Wan Du Du Mo Den Dre Mo Wang Du Du Lu Den Za Da Wan Du Du Ne Den Lu Den Wang Du Du Tam She Zugi Nang Gyorji Hung organ yogi no sham sam pema gezar dombola yamzen chogi ngudrunye pema jungne shisudra kordu khandro mambo kor kegi jesu dadruki jingi lapshir sheksu sol guru pema siddhi Hung organ yogi no sham sam pema gezar dombola yamzin chogi ngodrunye pema jungne shesudra kordu khandro mambo kor kedgi jesu dadruki jingi lapshir sheksu sol guru pema siddhi Hung organ yogi no sham sam pema gezar dombola yamzin chugi ngwadrunye pema jungne shesudra kordu khandro mambo kor kedgi jesu dadru jingi labshir sheksu sol guru pema siddhi hum. We'll read the English. Emaho, in the likeness of the full moon, the essence of the Sugata's inner radiance. appears like a water moon to the perceptions of disciples. I supplicate to this peerless, self-appearing Master, grant blessings for the confused concept of self to fall apart, based on the habit of confused fixation with non-existent true identity, in order to guide all of those of lesser faculties. I supplicate you, the masters of the three lineages, grant blessings to fully actualize the fundamental nature. Supreme Master of the Buddhas of this fortunate aeon, known as the Lord of Yogans, Nudan Dorje, and Shariputra of superb prajna, Lopon Hunkara, who actualized Yangdak Haruka, Drogben Kechum, who manifested Dorje Trolut, Drumgi Garnakpa, who rendered the Dharmata evident, Hepa Chujungwa, who achieved all aspirations, Dudul Dorje Sal, who attained the 8 cities, Dudul Ropa Sal, who wanders the realm of space activity, and Dorje Trolut, from whom the Dharmata welled forth, gradually appearing in hundreds of emanations to guide beings. I pray to the embodiment of the wisdom mind of all victors. Grant the potential to stir samsara from the depths, in the future appearing as Dorje Trokwosal. Together with 1 billion disciples, you will arrive in Shambhala to become Dorje Nonpo. As the future Buddha Mupataye, the beings in the 3 realms of samsara will be stirred from the depths. I supplicate you, incomparable Supreme Master, by the strength of this single-pointed prayer, and by directly realizing the truth of Trekchit's cutting through to the Dharmata and perfecting the 4 visions of Togel, may fully enlightened Buddhahood occur in the ever-youthful Vaskaya. Orangi ningane ozer trupe lamadani sume Galyum Troma Nagmo la chokchu dushi gabyul masangwa me korwa dungi namgar benzar samaza kerong rik yeshe Khandro dal du trel me par gyab suchi kam sum korwa kusangang rang dro chen por sen ke rang rig yeshe Khandro dal du trel me par gyab suchi kam sum korwa kusangang rang dro chen por sen ke rang rig yeshe Khandro dal du trel me par gyab suchi kam sum korwa kusangang rang dro chen por sen ma gyab da gyeshe Khandro ma chukulone ma yukyang dukar dulchir zuku shing dagi mungor kinzero shing du tranyam lu tru ne go sum gupe chatselo Ludang lonju getsachi Jashin me pachu pabu Serab sakpe lenyundik Nongyu trakpo tolshing shak Dronam tende gyurbe Geso kulaji Kamsum korwa yong drochi Kangdu chukor warku Jisi korwa matombar Nyangen mida shusodep Dagi dusum sakpege Drokun sangye topchirngo Dungal gi ching sam chin kun Dewar shekpe sato shuzahong bam ho Sokshing nang rang la timpe gyu chingi la par gyur Oshing gab da chin mo yi Ye shi song chin wang yin pop Benzara bishaya True did you nong wei ju Rang jun jun bin du shan Om ah ho ri Chu ying ge me yung gi kar lun zhu de jin xiao ye su ma cha Khandro ben ni zhen tu ji rang sao zhu ma di xiao jin cha ni zhi tu jin ga tam ga jin ga da zin xiao dan zha zhu jin wa zi ma lum jin shake you true rope sao sao tu door Sangye Khandro kar la ru rin chin Khandro ser tu pe ma Khandro mar Jang du le gi Khandro jang kun jang gar ta tri to lam un tra yang pe Khandro kor kam sum ma lu wang du jin si sum zu gi nan par ke de tar sa we ne sum le ozer kar marting sum tru be chuni nam kar sot gil kudang yeshe shing dang kutpa mi zet ba gengi korlo tam she malu shing lupa me par jen drang ne rang nang yeshe gi kil kurdan ni su me par tim par gyurom shri benza kali harini sasawa benza samaya zaza om shri benza kali harini sasawa benza samaya zaza om shri benza kali bam harini sasawa benza samaya zaza Sangye Khandro Khandro sok den sum kil kor jim por shik ap she du drel me par un tin drel me cha sa hum pam ho ti tra ben la nam ho Ozung dong zin bei du pai chu kun chu pe trin du sha ju ni Khandro kil kor du ni me ho pa su gi she ma ben sa puja ho Shing chu kayam landru ro payum chin ma tu je rong sa Khandro da yon du chen por cha sao je pak mo trito chen. Tu so ho lang agi koram benzagrati gali bama rini so. Benzagrati. Harini Sahum Pe. O Galwe Kil Kor Malupa Sordu trogi ning mortim. Sokor songak rochi gyuro medukritikale bamarini suzawaziri bala. Ah. Harini Sasawa Siddhi Bala Hong Ah. Om Me Pung Sun No Trupe Drage Glo Drin Tam She Kun Sarche Dul Du Lak Ne Kyang Nam Par She Pa Chukur Dralam Hitakriti Kali Bamriti Sanaya Sama Sama Niti Savarshada Maria Hitakriti Kali Bamriti Bands are pretty cutty bombers and I have some indie trees. Ujana Maria and the very good bombers and I have some Maria, Ujana Maria, and the very good bombers and I have no, the very good bombers. And the very good bombers and I have Naya sama samaya nidhi savashara maraya pe. Machik Troma Nagmo Kusung Tu Gyenden Trine Mizadba Gengi Korlo Kechik Tata Nidu Drupar Gyurchi A I U Ri 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 E O Ewan body mahashramana yesoha. Ozun danzin be du paye chukun chud petrin du shar chuni khandro kil kordu ni me ropa bugi she ma benza pudza ho. Shiying chukuyam landru ropayum chen nga tu je rangsa khandro da yondru chimpor Om Swabhava Shuddha Sarva Dharma Swabhava Shuddha Hom Tombani Dugyur Tombeng Ale Ale Yeshigi Kapala Gyakin Shugi Yingdan Yambe Nandu Tormasha Duzinge Ranshin Om Hung Tram Hri A Shue De Tong Zakpa Mepe Yeshigi Dusilanam Chinan Sangwe Chutrin Ma Sangwa Mepa Namke Tada Nyambar Gyur Namasawatat Kata Bayo Busha Muge Besawat Imangagana Kamso Tata Gata Bayo Busha Muge Besawata Kamunga Saparana Imangagana Kamso Ha Namasawatata Kata Bayo Busha Muge Besawata Kamunga Saparana imangagana kam soha. Chuni Gumaro Petrum Drille Dugu Palyan Ragam Chungu Shina Galpati Yusum Mama Yedam Kandrota Lekten Soda Kurgan Shashida Chatrumani Berna Tashida Gombo Sharu Donchenda Letru Doje Pengi Gombo So Gombo Pagir Malu Tamchela Solo Chuto Tutan Nimbakan Eka Sati Palden Rimati Person Chuni Lamo Tunema Lama Magir Malu Tamchela Solo Chuto Tutan Nimbakan Lachin Wanchu Suda Dergyadan Nuchin Mada Apa Sateta Gyachin Namse Saturahula Yavyu Sekur Gatan Chepala Solo Choto Tutan Lerota Damchen Dule Senchen Ropato Singye Yama Raza Samudri Jogya Kuna Nuchin Singmara Sangye Gachu Lugya Migun Kak Yadyu Kupur Gatu Chimpala Solo Choto Tagdan Dimbo Kak Tangla Yashu Machin Pongradam Dagya Benchu Ginin Jangwe So Karcho Kyungwe Shida Tomchela Solo Choto Tutan Dimbo Kak Gombo Susha Chuchu Benida Kanye Gisa Lapa Nimsunda Oshin Dundra Chempe Suma niệm vô cầu chư xưng kiều huệ ca đàn phong sư chi đạo chiến kiều là truyền lễ châu hoa ni sang ghê thiên su cùng chư thức quan thức yên tên đề kiều đoạt về hoa đàn chuột hoa cha na chuột tu chư côi chế ni Đa tên kiều kiên bảo chế shi hoa đàn
châu si thiên tế na sinh
Kiều ghê shi tham sư mơ ba nam shi hoa đư đư Tra ghê lộ truyền tra vô sa chư chi Ca đàn đam lê ma đa sa ma ya Om Swavava Shuddha Sarva Dharma Swavava Shuddha Ham Nama Sarvatat Gata Bayo Busho Mugebe Sarvataka Mungat Saparana Imanga Gana Kam Soha Name Sarvatata Gata Bayo Busho Mugebe Sarvataka Mungat Saparana Imanga Gana Kam Soha Name Sarvatata Gata Bayo Busho Mugebe Sarvataka Mungat Saparana Imanga Gana Kam Soha Rating Chonam Kekyu Gorne Zacho Chimpo Sheksu So Charcho Koso Ropane Lugya Megan Karpo Put Locho Chagar Gurimne Shinche Yamaraza Put Nucho Senyo Sandane Senmar Shemba Kuje Put Jancho Traso Kilone Mama Sipe Galmo Put Damsin Yengi Pulagi Zundro Shudu Sheksu So Ranaya Sama Samaya Zaza Om Ahoy Mujur Yigi Namjil Pe Jugu Lonjil Tamegi Johnson Sacho Korchila Solo Shudo Tutanka
Rajung Chile
Yonju Zo Lugao Midan Korpola Solo Shudo Tutanka Dugu Palian Shardu Po Shinje Yama Razala Solo Shudo Tutanka Tragic Nuji Chamla Pop Senmar Shempa Kudepla Solo Shudo Tutanka Tujun Tula Dragedo Mama Sipe Galmola Solo Shudo Tutanka Matar Sishin Duwe Kro Patrung Trepe Dengayi Korda Young Che Pala Solo Shudo Tutanka Chupe Now Jordani Gi Neden Barche Shiwada Says Italian Gay Padang Mopanam Shi Wandu Dragek Malu Dudulo Dogo Chana Dorje Ka Bardu Rington Gudvedam Kama Now Jordagi Sik Mada Benza Samaya Name Sarvatata Gata Bayo Busho Mugebe Sarvataka Munga Saparana Imanga Gana Kam Soha Name Sarvatata Gata Bayo Busho Mugebe Sarvataka Munga Saparana Imanga Gana Kam Soha Name Sarvatata Gata Bayo Busho Mugebe Sarvataka Munga Saparana Imanga Gana Kam Soha Za Checho Chador Pejungi Rigzin Get Betalzigi Poda Zada Yonjo Kor Dear Junker Korton Zebu Kordan Chepe Chudan Kan Tenjo Benjo Josula Basan Trinle Rab Jamju Draget Rajik Samaya Za Checho Chador Pejun So Rizin Kepe Taziki Poda Zada Yonjo Kor Dershin Kentorton Zebu Kordan Chepe Tudan Kan Deshe Tenje Josula Dakson Trinle Rajam Ju Drage Filju Samaya Za Checho Chador Pejun So Rizin Kepe Taziki Poda Zada Yonjo Kor Dershin Kentorton Zebu
ye pe tu dang kang ten ju ro su la da san chen le ra jam ju dra ge tro chik sa ma ya sa sun dang jin sung me so tu je se wa chen po gon dak ni kor se to me ne mari nyun chi drip wang gi so tar chan sem sang a gi don pa la pa dam nyam pa mi cha mi be to shing sha samba chogi ngodru solom bezer sado samaya mana para ya bezer sado tena badi Bhagavan so de gada bada mai mi mama so ya so Padresava samaya mana para ya padresava tena badi me wasugame Padresava samaya mana para ya padresava tena badi me wasugame Sadhu padresava samaya mana para ya Padresava samaya mana para ya padresava tena badi me wasugame Sawasiri me priya so sabagama sa samaya me wasugame Sudugayo me pawa sugay me pawa me wasundra Padresava samaya mana para ya padresava tena badi me Bhagavan so de gada bada mai mi mama samaya so Isam Shivan Guru Hung Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan so de gada bada mai mi mama Padresava samaya mana para ya padresava tena badi me Bhagavan so de gada bada mai mi mama samaya so padresava samaya mana para ya padresava tena badi me Padresava samaya mana para ya padresava tena badi me Padresava tena badi me Padresava samaya manupalaya Padresava tena patira mepawa Sudukaya mepawa Subukaya mepawa Anurata mepawa Sawasiti mepraya Sawa karma Sisam shiran kuru hung Ha 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 ho Bhagawan sawata Vajramame musa bensri bawa Maha samaya sato Sodong Yir me se non si tam che talgi Sham Dao Kya Pakwe Sham Paru Kam Kam Kim Che So Su Kun Shi Yang Pe Sham Paru Sem Dang Sem Shung So Su Sham Ku Sung Khandro Tu Tam Ka Tom Dang La Pa Tam Nyam Cha Dun Me Ying Su Dan Yang Oi Chinan Song Wei So Chudi Ma Dang Khandro So La Bu Tu Dong Gyao Gyur Nyam Sha Sha Zun Zin Dak Me Chimpo Dro Kam Sum Dro Kusum Dre Wu Sa To Shu Pai Bambo So Dong Yir Me Se Nang Si Tam Chi Tao Gi Gong Du Gu Pao Yan Jir Yang Sa Di Zid Gen Gi Kor La Pao. Repeat. Hai Ngo Wa Ke Me Chu Ku Yam Lun Dru Ra Da Yu Chen Tu Je Gu Trim Ro Pa Le Si Ta Ma Mo Khandro Da Ma Lu Lu Wa Se Fa Kun So Gi Tru War Shik Su So Ying La She Shu Ning Ai Yang Huang Wa Ying Su Shik Fei Shir Kang Su Na So Fa Mang Gi Tu Cha Je Su Zung Du So Pem Za Ben Zer Samaya Pai Nang Wa Nu Gi Jong Paru So Su Sham Dao Kya Pakwe Sham Paru Kam Kam Kim Che So Su Sham Kun Shi Yang Pe Sham Paru Sem Shu So Su Sham Ku Sung Khandro Tu Dang Ka Tom Dang La Pa Dam Yam Cha Dun Me Ying Su Dan Yang Ro Oi Chinan Song Wei So Chudi Ma Dang Khandro So La Bu Tuk Dong Gyao Gyur Nyam Sha Shak Sun Sin Dak Me Chin Pur Dro Duk Sum Gye Dro Kam Sum Dro Kusum Dre Wu Sa To Sho. Repeat again. Pai Bambo So Dong Yir Me Se Nang Si Tam She Tao Gi Gong Du Gu Pao Yan Jir Yang Cha Di Zid Gen Gi Kor La Pao Pai Go Ke Me Chu Ya Lun Du Ran Dang Yu Chen Ma Tu Je Yu Chen Sangye so chudi Matang Khandro so labu Tutong Gao Gyur Nyam Shak Shak Zung Sin Dak Me Chimpordro Kamsum Dro Kusum Dro Sato Sho Nama Sarvatata Gata Bayo Bushum Sawataka Mungate Saparana Imangagana Kam Soha Name Sawatata Gata Bayo Bushum Mugebe Sawataka Mungat Saparana Imangagana Kam Soha Name Sawatata Gata Bayo Bushum Sawataka Mungate Saparana Imangagana Kam Soha Ram Yam Kamo Mahung Chuni Namgar Zogi Gitrile So Chatugu Palyan Mizit Kapne Kunjo Sundan Sawasum Yeshe Khandro Laso Sumarche Sangye Sogi Chupapu Sasum Damshin Sume Tudam Kang Tragik Nuchit Shadrak Sogu Laron Trile Dru Pacha Soso Drifta Sangye Sho Ram Yam Kamo Mahung Chuni Namgar Zodgi Gitrile So Chutugu Palyan Mizeter Gyabni Kuncho Sumdan Sawasum Yeshe Khandro Lasok Sung Marche Dershik Shalze Sogi Chut Papu Sasum Damchin Sung Me Tu Dong Kang Dom Don Lapa Dam Sin Yam Shashak Dragik Nuchit Shatrak Sokuro Lakyong Pomo La Ron Trin Le Dru Dacha So So Drifta Sangye Sho Ram Yam Kamo Mahung Chuni Namgar Zodgi Gitrele So Chutugu Palyan Mizeter Gyapne Kuncho Sumdan Sawasum Yeshe Khandro Lasok Sung Marche Dershik Shalse Sogi Chupapu Sasum Damchin Sung Me Tu Dam Kang Sin Yam Shasha Dragik Nuchit Shatrak Sokuro Lakyam Pomo La Ron Trin Le Dru Dacha So So Drifta Sangye Sho Nama Sarvatata Gata Bayo Busho Muge Sawataka Mungate Saparana Imangagana Kam Soha Name Sarvatata Gata Bayo Busho Sawataka Mungate Saparana Imangagana Kam Soha Nama Sarvatata Gata Muge Bisawataka Mungate Saparana Imangagana Kam Soha Unang Siddhakpa Kachiching De Chen Gyur Me Shal Yene Den Sum Gil Kor Yon Lama Sal Zodin Rig De Kang Kang Tu Tru Pe Ne Chum Ni Shu Sa Shi Yu So Ni De Tra Chimpo Ne Get A He Ru Kai Ne Chuna Shu Pe Pa Wo Now Jor Ma Shin Kyong So Da Ya So Yi Tu Tang Gang La Nyam Sha Sha Sa Ri Pao Ri Pe Ma Wat Ta Shi Son So Som Li Sa Chut Ka Chut Chut Te Shing Te Da chi nang ba che ying sung so chang dang kun mong du sa ri sin lam shi sa la kyo la sao chu ding to show Sangaklana me peze yeshe du tsir jin la pe du yun yong dril chimpo ni dorje pumpo tro kirgi shek padani shek madang Pao pamo nal jorso ni chir je gongi paro ho so gi lo pon so la ro pao pamo so claro Nal jor pomo solaro che don cham drel solaro chogi ngudru de wache ala ala te gi paro dorje che cham zung marche yang sam kyu kordeni du Sombu chik du sangye sho om siddhi has hung siddhi swa siddhi has phala hong Dusum Sangye Guru Rinpoche Ngudru Kundan Dewa Chenpo Shabarche Kunsal Dudu Trukpos So Depso Jingi Labdu Sol Chinan Sangwe Barche Shiwadan Samba Lungi Drubar Jingi Lo Dusum Sangye Guru Rinpoche Barche Kunsal Depso Jingi Labdu Sol Chinan Sangwe Barche Shiwadan Samba lungi drubar jingi lo dusum sangye guru rinpoche ngudru kundan dewa chenpo barche kunsal dudu trapos alsowa depso jingi labdu chinan sangwe barche shiwadan samba lungi drubar jingi lo dusum sangye guru rinpoche ngudru kundan dewa chenpo sha barche kunsal dudu trapos sowa depso jingi labdu so chinan sangwe barche shiwadan Sampa lungi drupar jingi lo dusum sangye guru rinpoche ngudru kundan dewa chenpo parche kunsal dudu trapos alsowa depso jingi labdu chinan sangwe parche shiwadan sampa lungi drupar jingi lo om ahom Benza guru pema siddhi hong om ahom Benza guru pema siddhi Om Ahom Benza Guru Pema Siddhi Hong Gyabne Kundu Organ Rinpoche Sudme Dung Shu Trapo So Chinan Sangwe Barching Suso Samden Chushin Drupar Jingilo Om Ahom Benza Guru Pema Siddhi Hong Kangri Rawe Korwe Shinkamsu Pandan Dewa Malu Jungwe Chenre Zi Wang Tenzin Gyatso Yi Shape Siddhi Bardu Tengyur Chi Lama kukam zangwar sowa dep chotu kutse ringwar sowa. Trinle tarshin gebar sowa dep lama dandrawa me par jingilo. Lama kukam zangwar sowa dep chotu kutse ringwar sowa dep. Trinle darshin gebar sowa. Lama dandrawa me par jingilo. Lama kukam zangwar sowa dep chotu kutse ringwar sowa dep. Trinle tarshin gebar sowa. Lamadandra me parjingi lo zamling chida yukam didak du nedwan so so du ngaming mi drak juden so nam paljer kong du pel. Tak du tashi dele punso sho ken lo chusum ring lu che zamling sasum gyapar pel drogi chosum nangwa mi dral du sum ge lek sho. So a few months ago in the summer, I received a very special package from Semo Seringla, who is the daughter of Dujum Rinpoche. Drigdral Yeshe Dorje has two remaining children, Chimela and Seringla. They live in New York City. And she sent many special relics to go into Rinpoche's stupa, Gelter Rinpoche's stupa. These astonishing relics that she took directly from her father's treasure suitcase. And it is the real thing. And she also sent me a few relics, and she sent two sakles. One she said to put in Rinpoche's stupa, and one she said I could keep and share. And the sakles belonged to Jujum Lingpa. They were his personal sakle. That means the empowerment card that you use when the master gives empowerment. And so I have it here. And if Lama Chunam would take it around, or Isis, okay, and give everyone a blessing. Have a good look at it. This is original, authentic sakle. It has mantras on the back, and this is the property of Haruka Dujum Lingpa, directly from the Dharma treasure box of Dujum Rinpoche. You can show it in the Zoom, too. Bring it close to the Zoom.
刚才那个法相是敦珠二世法王的两位女儿，现在还在世上，齐美拉跟 Seringla。那由于上次他们在纽约，我碰到他们赠送我一些宝物，一些舍利子，一些这完全都是二世法王的宝藏盒里面取出来的。那有两个非常珍贵的不种是舍利子，还有是两个这个sakle 藏文就是灌顶的这种卡。那这个 sakle 呢，也就是敦珠一世杜中林巴亲自画的，他灌顶用的。一个会装在尊贵的开智佛爷的宝塔里面，一个他们讲说我可以带的跟着我。刚才你们在 Zoom 上面也看到了，那个就是杜中林巴他灌顶第一世时候灌顶用的这个 sakle。
Now we'll complete the practice, beginning with the offering of the remains on page 69. Om Ahung, Om Ahung, Om Ahung. Lakme Torma Dragegi Shatrak Dudyan Dutsi Pompor Gyur. du mi zete la kyong pomo so la bu trin le rab jam yong dru zo. Sangye Khandro Trongkir Du Sogi Korlo Korwai Dashin Droa Malupa Kyukor Chik Du Drupar Sho Namo Kunjo Sundan Sason Chugyons Sungme Dembe Nuchit Drage Tamje Shadra Margi Torma de la Kuchi. Ba hom bam hom. True trail de wachambone Yingi dani chijemo Gutro rosa kandro ku Korwa nyande chembodro. Goyo tok dan drawai Tapshi kai sumanam Torma shela trinle dru. Namo kunju sundan sasan chukyen sume sogi dembe nijit damze kapdre lokbar drempa tamche torshong rira barwe oktu kukchi zahom bam ho. Dato matram rutride dak me chimbo karudru shen me lam gidro radra dal kyap chukulonge tab stambayanen. Not yet. Dacha punlo cordon che pe se sud paljor tam che pudrin kuru ho. City. sum lun drup khandro me sang sum dor jing dru sol benzo kroti kali bamarini so wasidi pala hung ah. Hozun danzin pe du pa yi chukun chut pe trin du shar chuni khandro kil kor du ni me ro par bugi she Mahabenzar Pudza Ho. Ho de ne shiying chukuyam lundru ro payum chen nga tu je rong sa khandro da yon dru chimpor cha tu ma nye yong su ma san dang kang yang nu pa ma chi pe dir ni gi wa gan om ba de kun gyud gi zud zed ri gom ben de sado sama ya mana pala ya ben de sado de la ba di de de ba ma zu de kai ma zu de one so what is the gara the mind is a mama sama ya so do ba da ba ya mana sama ya so city me prayer so 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 me City me me so 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 me guru ha ho ba da ba so de Sindhibama Samaya Sato Hornang Sid Shishing Chin Pordu Machu Did Me Saru Se Po Lar Yang Chuku Rang Selgi Rang Jung Dro Du Tru Kur Shar Poi Poi Sonam Sokni Chukur Dandru Kuni Topar Sho Sonam Sokni Chukur Dandru Kuni Topar Sho Sonam Sokni Chukur Dandru Kuni Topar Shom Ye Dharma Hetu Trava Hetun Dekin Tata Gata Hayo Wata Dekin Sayo Nirad Ewan Badi Mahashramana Yesoha Hong Danyam Shi Tashi Sho Magom Lam Gita Shi Shuk Yeso dre buta shisho Jalu zang tel ta shisho. We'll read the aspiration prayer in English. Ho, Great Mother, Guru, and Assembly of Deities, please hear me. This act of virtue accomplished here today, and whatever merit has been amassed throughout the 3 times, is dedicated to the awakening of beings as vast as space. Throughout all lifetimes may I attain a Vajra body with 6 fortunate attributes, for becoming a suitable vessel to practice the great secret path. Without aspiring towards the extremes of existence or quiescence, may I enter this path of the superb vehicle. May I never be separate from the supreme source of refuge, Traktung Dujum Lingpa, who is unrivaled by any other. Self-awareness is the innate single taste of original purity. Realizing this, may blessing penetrate my heart. Within the unsurpassed fourfold Vajra Mandala, may my mind stream be brought to maturity through entrance and the ritual of the 4 empowerments. Concerning the proclaimed Samaya for Vajra Dakini, may I have the potential to guard against even unintentional non-virtue. Phenomenal existence arising as the ground is the primordially complete generation stage. The clear light bindus are the spontaneously accomplished completion stage. Their non-duality is the key point of the supreme Vajra essence. May I embrace this path of the treasury of the expanse of space. Loving towards all, with attachment towards nothing, relying upon the authentic wisdom consort, and partaking of the 5 ambrosias and the 5 great meats. Engaging in fearless conduct, and enjoying the desirables such as song and dance, perfecting the conduct of being fierce, and mischievously leaping and running, overcoming hesitation to sever attachment, feeling non-attachment towards and cutting the cord of luring and grasping to self-cherishing. By giving the gift of my body and dharma, the guests are gathered. May there be the potential to liberate all gods, maras, and sentient beings of phenomenal existence. May confused appearances of conditional phenomena exhaust within the basic space of the ineffable nature of phenomena. May the unobstructed magical wisdom rainbow kaya be fully manifest in this very lifetime. If training, familiarity, and the strength of diligence are inadequate, and the extent of accomplishment is not reached in this life, when death arrives through the samadhi of the moment of death, may transference occur without wavering from that wisdom intent. With the assembly of self-appearing dakas and dakinis proceeding before me with song, dance, and musical offerings,
in the extremely pleasing Pure Land of Akanishla space activity, may I be led before the Guru, sovereign of the family. The aspect of unceasing appearances is the supreme method of the Haruka, and great emptiness is the basic space of Prajna, the Bhaga of Truma. In union, this is all-pervasive wisdom exaltation. May I accomplish this non-dual state of a sovereign Vajra holder. Okay, thank you everyone. And I hope you can all practice and embrace this path with enthusiasm. And at least here at the center, practicing this regularly is very, very good. Very, very important. And thank you, Benson, for translating, and all of you who came to join us from around the world as one mandala, which is what we are. Thank you. Take care and be safe.
So, Sangye, Angie asked me to say thank you, and so I can extend thanks on behalf of Organ Den to everyone who came today and assembled with good intention to practice, but especially I want to thank Sangye and Benson and Lama Chunam for practicing together, and Sangye for teaching and leading the practice. But I warned Angie that I would say other things, and I wanted to also request you, Sangye and Lama Chunam, to come back here again really soon and to lead this practice, maybe even for many days, because even though I can't play the drum and all that stuff, I really love this practice and would love to have a retreat here. And so, Sangye, I hope you'll come back soon and lead a retreat here.
Yeah, it's been many years since Lopo Nikula was here. It was many years since Lopo Nikula was here. And in this retreat I did this summer, I spent some time watching the videos that Jane took of that time, 20 years ago. And he gave many teachings on Troma here in the shrine room, very, very good teachings. And I thought maybe there would become a strong group of practitioners, but somehow life goes on, and maybe that's not exactly the case. But I really want to encourage you to take it up and learn it and make it one of our important practices, because we are Dujam Rinpoche's center, and this is a key practice in this lineage. And I know Julie's been very diligent in coming and leading Troma practice groups, so please continue. And I'm not sure when those are held, but maybe someone could say that for those of you who are interested and want to join.
They're on ODD's website,
Okay.
and they're going to happen. And also, there's a schedule that I send out regularly. And if you go to ODD's website, you can get that email address and email me, and then they will be on the list once I screen them.
And yes, we will make the aspiration to come back for sure. For 3 years in a row, I went and taught Troma at Pemo Soling right after Lama Tarjan Rinpoche entered Parinirvana at Lama Sonam Rinpoche's request to help. And it was really wonderful doing that. And then, of course, COVID hit. And also I thought, well, I should probably spend time at our own centers teaching too. And so it is my intention, and we owe this to Rinpoche and to our lineage teachers. to practice and achieve liberation, right? That's what we need to do. Yeah, that's what we will do.
So wonderful to see you. I actually, you might have this already, I'm not sure, but this is my favorite cities from the wife. Chandler, Russian Chandler, thank you. With the wife. Thank you. I wanted to come to this morning, but I'm just recording from home without the Chinese.
What?
Without the Chinese.
Oh.
I'm bad. I have a record.
We will have time tomorrow to make offerings to the lamas, but if you're not coming tomorrow, this might be a good time.
It's the best things for all folk like me, practitioner, will is a one practitioner. And I wish you participate in 6 in form. A text for practitioners. And we translated this great text, all of the great teachers and all the wonderful, it was a wonderful master. It's a lamb job. But I think prefer, I believe in prefer. It is something like some page that you look at daily. Yeah, that's my request. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming. I'm looking forward to the next visit.
I just wanted to say thank you for being such a wonderful ambassador for Gyatrum Shri, who I never met, but around Wallace, certainly love learning.
What's your name?
Colby.
Kobe.
If you're ever in the Big Sur area in the southern part of the coast, in the direction of Atlantic Biting, we have remote cabins scattered across the southern part of it. Yeah, I sure you're in Southern California.
Yeah, never been there, but I was wondering where I would like to go.
It's really isolated. It's called Shannon. Yeah, 6.5 miles from the coast. And 7 retreat cabins, often 2 are available.
Send me an email about it.
I'd love to. Yeah.
Just Sangye Khandro @gmail.com. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's wonderful to meet you. I've heard about you around for years. So anytime I meet you, make me want to go out with you, whatever. It's beautiful. Yeah. And sharing the trick practice. It's actually the only common preliminary, non-common preliminary for the general lineage that really struck me. So thank you for doing it now.
Keep being in touch and let me know how you're doing. Thank you very much.
I'll do that.
Okay.
I'm Ayush.
Ayush, you live locally?
Yeah, South. Yeah, we haven't met in person before, but I follow your talks online. And I'm actually a student of Acharya Malcolm Smith, so I've engaged a little bit with your translations.
Yeah, wonderful.
Treasures.
We were just with Malcolm in New Zealand.
Oh, wow.
He came to the Troma retreat in Osa, and then they went on to Australia.
Yeah.
But, yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah, him and Osa both very inspiring.
Yes, it is. Well, thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for coming. Please live long. Please get young.
Thank you so much for teaching like this.
What is your name?
Maria. Maria, yes.